Hello, everyone. This is Evelyn, your girl for Evelyn's Creations, and we are inside of the Threads of Life fabric store where I have an array of fabrics. The whole store is nothing but African fabrics. So if you like my channel, please like and subscribe, and I'm going to take you and show you all about African fabrics. Okay, first of all, what is an African fabric? African fabric is a fabric made from Africa, and it's usually 100% cotton. And it normally has two sides. You have a flat side and you have a shiny side. That's the first signal that you have an authentic African fabric, okay? Not always, but that's a good tell that you have an African fabric. Now, every fabric has a serial number on it. So when you buy African fabric and you want to buy more and you want it from the same company, you can say, listen, I bought this fabric, I need this serial number. The serial number is more so, the serial number and the picture of the fabric is a good way to reorder the same fabric if you run out of fabric. Now, African fabric is sold in 6-yard and 12-yard pieces. There's a reason for 6 yards and there's a reason for 12 yards, okay? So when you buy fabric that's from Africa, it's usually not just rows and rows and rows on a boat. It's usually in a 6-yard piece. And when you know you have a 6-yard or 12-yard piece, the fabric has a seal on it. And I'm going to show you here why most of the time when you go to a festival and you see vendors that sell in fabrics, it's usually a male. And males, they don't even have to have a tape measure because the fabric is folded into a yard. Open this up for you. This is 1 yard, which it really is not a yard. Most of your African fabrics is about 35 and a half or 30, not quite 36 inches, but there is measured in centimeters. So this right here is considered a yard. Like I said, it's probably about 35 and a half inches. So it's just a smidget off of a yard if you're in US. Okay, now when a person at the festivals, which you see so many more fabrics at a festival than you will in any fabric store, unless you're at my fabric store, you will see that they just take the fabric, either slip it and rip it down because the fabric will rip easily on the same line, or they will cut right on the line. And that's when you have one, excuse me, 1 yard of fabric. So that is the reason that men can sell fabrics and have fabrics where that they can easily be cut and sold at festivals. Now, there's a shiny side and there's a flat side of fabric. People ask, why is the fabric so hard? And oh, the fabric is so stiff. Okay, let me tell you about real African fabric. It has to travel a long way. Okay, it comes in a container. It has to travel a long way, and the stiffness of it is more like a starch. And that protects and preserves the fabric. The fabric has a minimum 20-year lifespan. Really good fabric. It has texture and it lasts. Now, when you launder the fabric, will it soften up? Absolutely, it will soften up. But it will give you a lifetime of pleasure. Most of the time, when you go back to your dashiki, it's because you gain weight. It's not because the fabric was falling apart. So that's why you have to upgrade and get another one, because it lasts forever in a day. And that's why people say, oh, I already got my dashiki, or I already have my outfit. But the wax is a protection. It keeps mites out. It preserves the cloth. A lot of labor goes into the cloth. And so it makes a very good fabric. Now, it's nothing still as thick as denim. So if you can walk around in jeans all day, you can definitely walk around in an African print. This particular fabric, I'm showing you some of my favorites, okay? This particular fabric here, it has the Adinka symbols on it. And this is great for teaching, inspiration. You can make pillows, curtains, tablecloths, table runners, just an array of things you can do with this cloth. And I just love it because it has so much variety in it. It's actually one of my favorite cloths. And again, this is a 6-yard piece of fabric. Again, like and subscribe so you can get some of these great cloths. This particular one, I'm gonna tell you why this one is one of my favorite. This particular fabric is like, if you go into Home Depot, Lowe's, or your favorite wallpaper place or anything, these are what we call stolen treasures. These designs all represent Africa. These fabrics right here, these fabrics have been taken, and they have different symbols like blocks, and they have cowrie shells, and they have shields, warrior shields, and so forth on it. Again, it's in a 6-yard piece, and it has a flat side, and it also has, let's open this up so you can see, it has a flat side and it has a shiny side. So this is the African print fabric, and you can see this is the, we call it the age side. And if you're not really paying attention, you can sew your whole outfit on the wrong side and don't know you sewed it on the wrong side. That's just how great this fabric is. A lot of work, a lot of labor, very good cloth. We call it a no-brainer piece, okay? So let's get this folded back up here. Our very own African, the map of Africa, not forgetting Madagascar. Most of the time when you see Africa, you don't see Madagascar. Madagascar, if you got a real African print, it will always have Madagascar on the fabric, okay? And so again, we got the kind of fabric it is, and we also got the serial numbers in there. This is the serial number. It's kind of broken off, but as you open the fabric up, it keeps repeating itself. So it's not just one place you'll have the serial number on it. It will be going throughout the fabric. Now, you want to say, what, Evelyn, why is it 2 sides to this fabric? Let me tell you why. It has a purpose. This is a brocade fabric. It's 100% cotton. It has a shiny side and it has a flat side. Normally when I make this for someone, I will make the female side on the shiny side because she got bells and whistles and jewelry and so forth. And the male is more conservative, so he want a flat side. So it looks great on couples, and then we can embellish with other prints to make it look good. But in Africa, fabric was always 6 yards, 6 yards or 12 yards. And the 6 yards, one person could wrap their whole body in the 6 yards. For a female, she could wrap. Also, she would have enough fabric to carry her baby, or she could work, or she could breastfeed and have a pillow over her, a fabric over her shoulder while she's taking care of her child. And then when it comes to church, she can take that fabric and wear it on the shiny side. So as the men, when the men went out to work, they were always wrapping their fabric. When they're working, they would be wrapped on the flat side. When they were going to someone formal, they would have on the shiny side. And it makes so much sense because your family works so hard to make these fabrics, and then you can't just buy fabric every day. So what they would do, instead of us, like in US, we give money for gifts and so forth, or we give them a gift card. Well, in Africa, when you're special and someone really loves you, they would give you a cloth and then our fabric, and you would go to your tailor and you would get something made. That would be like so exciting because you go get something you made from a family member who made this fabric in the village, and you would just have your own favorite outfit. So that is why it is important, if you're making something authentic, why not give back to the culture that actually made the fabric? When you go to your favorite vendor or your favorite festival, those fabrics have come from their families or their loved ones. And then you see all of the prints that are being imposed or duplicated by other countries that do not give back to the family. We feel it is a disgrace, okay? So we say here with Evelyn's Creations, when you know better, you do better, okay? Again, Bill Clinton. I'm gonna tell you a little story about Bill Clinton. When I first started my business, Bill Clinton passed the law of affirmative action. And affirmative action means that you go back to that person or that place and you get the goods and services from that native, all right? And now affirmative action been taken away from us. So now anybody can duplicate a copy of any country's thing and you can buy it. So I feel it just has to be told what a real African fabric is and what a fake is, and why you know the difference between an African fabric and a fake fabric. I'm happy to say that Walt Disney World was my former boss, and they know that I have authentic fabrics, and our fabrics will be featured this year in the Lions King for 2024. So that shows that this is a credible store, and I am true to the cause, and we make sure that we give back to the continent. Again, this is Evelyn at Evelyn's Creations. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I got so much for you to know about African fabrics, sewing, notions, different ways to trade with Africa and so forth. Thank you. Please come back.